Hello, and welcome back to Pogus Plays Pillars of Eternity. It's been a while. There have been a few changes. For one, I'm no longer the green halfling berserker thing that I created first time. There is a character trope that I really do love, and it is the paladin who's very, very aggressive when it comes to baddies, but tends to go to extremes in either case. I like extremes, especially with characters like this. Which is why, despite being a bleak walker death godlike, it's not going to be all crush and kill and murder as the means to an end for stopping fights. Which probably will make me not a very powerful paladin, but nevertheless, it still feels good. So yes, he's Bleak Walker, he's death godlike. He comes from Aedira, the most centered, lawful land. He grew up as an aristocrat, but he was banished by his family, who they always did not like the idea of him being like a death godlike, an accident to the family. And now, well, he gets to strike out on his own. He goes to a new continent, a new country. He feels able to live his own life the way that he wants to, which is going to be affecting everyone's lives as much as possible. He likes to fiddle and get in control. Now, I have a level up to do. Skills! So, we have stealth, athletics, law, mechanics, and survival. Survival is for long-term purposes while camping. It's also used for conversations that involve wilderness or information about nature, being out of the city. Not really my style. Mechanics is for disabling traps and used for fiddling about with machines, being able to see how everything works with all the various mechanical pieces that's going on. Let's see, what else? Law is for understanding... activating scrolls, as well as various knowledge, little pieces that you've picked up, like studies of history, of arcane knowledge, things of that nature. Athletics, and stealth, which is pretty much not used for conversation, but is very much used for sneaking ahead. Handy, but not really my style. For the most part, I'm going to be focusing on athletics, law, and mechanics. I'll leave survival to other folks, and stealth definitely to other folks. I'm not sure... No, we can just sort of... I see the system. We can spend our points as much as we like, but every point that we put in will advance the amount of points required for the next level of that particular thing. So, we could boost up something by 3. Or we can boost up things by 4 by going around as much as possible. I'm going to go with Mechanics 2, Athletics 1, Law 1, maybe just a tiny, tiny bit of Survival. And our Paladin class unlocks. We have 1 that we can take. Greater Lay on Hands for extra healing. Yes, another 30... Bloody hell. That was quick. Who's that? Commander Root! Oh, thank you very much for following. Modifies Lay on Hands by 33.1 endurance over 5 seconds, so that effectively doubles the power of Lay on Hands. Very handy. Untroubled Faith. The Paladin's beliefs become more than just a sum of his or her actions, negating reputations that negatively influence faith and conviction. So this is the path to go when your character's actions are conflicting with the paladin path that they took. So this is probably something that I'm going to have to take eventually, because, yeah, I don't know if I'll be that much of a Bleak Walker. Deep Faith gives you increased statistics that you'll be getting from your faith. And the Black Path. When the paladin defeats an opponent, nearby enemies are frightened. I like that idea. We're going with the Black Path. Okay, that's it for level 2. Let's save it quickly. My keyboard for the escape, the tilde, the tab, and the caps lock has completely died off. I don't know why. It makes it very difficult with tabbing in and out of stuff, but it means that I can't use escape to navigate around menus, and it's driving me crazy. I'm just going to have to rely further on the mouse. Anyway, so we have a tree of the dead. Apparently there's been a lot of crimes going on in this place. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 corpses all strewn up on the great tree. We've just arrived, and the king's bell has tolled the death of his son. Either dead on arrival, or a stillborn, a deathborn, a hollowborn, that's the word. The hollowborn are children born without souls. They breathe, their heart beats, but there's nothing there.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Strange way to talk about your dead. Looks up the tree and breathes out. Half the town's up there now, it seems like. No right way to talk about it. I'm looking for someone who can help me feel better. Gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. Fuck you then. Alright. Moving on. We were told that we could probably report to the inn, maybe find a room down here. Hello. You see 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
The other 2 folk men and an elven woman don't look convinced. The one crosses her arms and spits at his feet. What's going on? We don't take to that kind of treatment. Not from foreigners, especially not from Nadarians. The woman looks you up and down. And that means you, too. Don't push us.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
The second man thrusts his chin at the elf. He stinks of sour ale.
Why, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
Wow, way to escalate that.
I'll cut that barrel-looking tongue out of your head.
Collective Clive outrage rises from the 3 locals. The second man snarls.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
Horror and shock paint themselves across the elven man's face in broad, hasty strokes. He frowns and swallows, plants his feet. Something surly and raw flickers through his eyes. An elven mage barbarian? My god! Seems like he has 2 personalities running along here.
That's where you're wrong.
The elven woman draws a blade. Back down, all of you! This is absurd. No one gives us orders here, Darren. Oh, well, cheat. Alright, fine. Yeah, sure. Come at me first. Oh, you sons of bitches. 1 down. 2 down. Oh my god, he's being good. Dead. Okay, so frightened I thought they would run away, but it just seems to be an effect that like screws with their ability to fight. As the last of the attackers fall, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You mean for slaughtering them? You're welcome.
Well, that is one way of putting it.
He gives a quick smile. Straightens his hood and you note the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
You don't have more to say for yourself than that. Please, I didn't mean to drag you into this.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire.
Where I grew up.
And both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful.
I am the nobility.
However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with the caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. In half Half the locals would arrest you for trespassing and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
A Buick.
And you survived? I've heard such a thing was impossible.
So have I.
But it seems you either have a knack for timing or the favor of the gods.
He regards me with new interest. Just how did you manage to cross those three drunks? Those three dead, splattered drunks.
As should I,
Oh,
in
shit.
recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn.
Oh.
They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep.
Great.
Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
Alright. So here's my problem. He causes a lot of problems. He has 3 people dead to his name already. Admittedly, they did attack me out of the blue. They were not exactly the most sturdy in the head themselves. He causes trouble. But I can deal with trouble. Alright. Let's go. I'll keep my eye on you, I think. Certainly it seems like it would be for the best.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
For the community. If he follows me around rather than going off on his own. Let's have a bit
How
of a
may I
chat,
help?
shall we? Olive looks at me with quiet attentiveness. How might I be of service? Any thoughts on what I should do next? Well, you're in charge here. And as far as I'm concerned, any place is better than Gilded Vale. How long were you in here? Not much longer than you. As you saw, it was hardly the haven that had been advertised. That's all. I'm not going to loot the dead. I always have a weird... It feels weird to loot the dead. Certainly I'll have a look through them just in case there's any keys, but like, it's their clothing, their weapons, and a few bits of money they have on them. I can't afford to spend time out to bury the bastards, but I'm not going to steal their money from the pockets. Not unless I need it. I really don't need it at this point. Oh dear. Alright, this guy will be pushing up lore as hard as possible. With my side characters, I tend to want to... Unlike myself, who is big, beefy, strong, can really take a punishment, I want my side characters to be focused. Extremely focused. Usually into, like, their skills. I only want to take one skill. With their unlocks, I want them to be flimsy, but capable. Very, very capable. So, lore, all the way. And then for his spell, oh boy, that's a difficult question. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 spells. Conkelhort's Parasitic Staff gives him a melee weapon. I do not want him in melee. A Chill Fog, Blindness and Freeze damage. Eldritch Aim, Preternatural Accuracy, Fleet of Foot, Movement Speed, and Defense against Disengaging. Disengaging is when you're trying to run away from someone in melee. Ghost Blades, Hobbled, slows them down. Pierce damage, pretty good. Jolting Touch, bzz. And it's a range of 2 meters. I like that idea. A bolt of electricity jumps from the caster's fingers to the nearest enemy, and then to the next nearest, causing decreasing amounts of shock damage. When I first looked at this, when I briefly rolled a wizard, I thought maybe it was touch range only, but no, it does appear to have an actual range. Flick it at someone. And we have talents. An Arcane Veil, 2 per rest, plus 50 deflection for 13 seconds. A Grimoire Slam. Buck Crunch! It is crush damage. Oh my god. No. And Blast. Generates a blast on target when using wand, rod, or scepter, doing a modest amount of damage to all enemies in a small area around. I do like area of effects on my wizardry. Yes, we should take Blast. Done. Alright, with me, oh, actually, let's modify your AI. I usually try and keep control of my guy, which is why I can't really push into the hardest difficulties. I like only micromanaging my character, and the side characters can do what they will. Now, damage, good. Crowd control, also good. Defensive, no. And spell sword, definitely not. Enhance themselves before charging headlong into battle. No. I think damage. Use per rest abilities and go aggressive. Save those.
Yes?
What are the other spells you have? Archimira's Dazzling Light. Overwhelm people, decrease their will, leave them dazed. What is dazed? Accuracy is reduced by 10. Dexterity, perception, and intellect are all reduced by 2. And attack speed is reduced by 15%. That's pretty strong. And then, of course, Fan of Flames. Burning! Cool. Alright. Let's go inside. Oh, one other problem with having tab disabled is that I can't check for items and interactables in the area, and it frustrates the hell out of me. I could be missing something. Oh dear. Some kind of brown slop is congealing in these dishes. It smells burnt. The floorboards are sticky with spills that no one has bothered to clean. Oh boy. Wish we had some minstrels in here. Food here's been awful lately. Think rats have gotten into the larder. Oh dear.
Well met, friend.
Oh, greetings and welcome to the Bloodhound Inn. The innkeeper bows her head curtly. Please, sit where you like. Would you like a drink or a room? We have 2 available at the moment. I'm afraid we can't offer much by way of a good meal today. Unless you're fond of cold porridge. Huh. You only serve porridge? Buzz looks at you and shakes his head quickly. It isn't by choice, I assure you. We used to serve some of the finest meals in the Darewood. We've had a damnable run of luck, is all. It's been a bad season for the crops, and we're running low on supplies. I sent Tenfrith up north to stock up. Tenfrith's our cook, you see, and artist with a good roast, but it has been days since he was supposed to return, and we haven't seen any sign of him. I've only just taken over from the last owner myself. I don't know what I'll do if he doesn't turn up. I could try and find him for you. Really? Oh, I'd be so grateful to you if I did. He was travelling through the Valewood. It's probably nothing. A broken wheel, maybe, but I do worry. You see him safely home, and I think everyone in here would sing your praises. Nobody much likes my porridge. I could use some reliable help. Do you know of anyone looking for work? Oh, well, I wouldn't say I can speak from experience, but we do have certain sorts coming by looking for work from time to time. If you want to hire on someone, I'd be happy to send them your way. Let me see what I have to work with. Ah, yes. So, in this system, you can also, apart from taking the stock standard NPCs, you can also recruit adventurers, which is basically creating a new PC to go along with the party, who does not really speak, does not really have anything to do with the story, and is just there to supplement you with powers. I may be taking some of these if I get overwhelmed, or if I have problems with something. I'll hire on a mercenary, which is essentially what this is. But apart from that, I do actually want to have characters that will talk and interact and all that sort of good stuff. Now, I've got a lot of stuff to sell. Oh, we can also retrain characters. Oh, that's handy. Didn't know that. Party management. Okay, that's good. That's good. So, we're going to sell off the shields, the armor. Do you have a set amount of money? No, you seem to have unlimited money. Unless that's my... No, that's my money. Yeah, it's not your money. Unlimited money it is! Let's sell the spear, all the armor, the rapier, the hatchet, the bow, move that over here, the mace, the wolf hide. I will not sell the cloak, thank you very much. And I will sort 2 lockpicks. No, we won't. Okay, that crossbow, I want to have... Oh dear. Ha! Okay, that way I can move stuff about. There we go. Ah, I see. Ah, yes, the lockpicks are in miscellaneous. That's the tattered journal and 3 torches that we have. Oh my word. Alright. Sell all this business, all this armor. Where did I pick all this up from? I might have been picking it up from the bad guys that we slayed. Oops. Helms! Can't wear a helm when you're a death god. It's of a sort. We'll sell 2 torches. We'll certainly keep 1. Okay. Now, as for your stuff, weapon... No. You haven't got any of the sort. How about a round of beer? Yes. 2 beers, please. Thank you. Trade all that, and we have money all of a sudden. Hallelujah. Let's... Ooh. Okay, 150 CP. Is that each? Probably not. Sorry, another adventurer. And we'll take a female. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My mother eats eggs and they are good. I really like eggs. Eggs are fine. Okay. I seldom eat eggs. Eggs are very bad. I don't like eggs because they are full of calcium and sugar and vinegar. Okay. Go, wizard. Damn! Short stacks only lose all their clothing with wizard. But yes, we'll go with... No, we've already got a wizard. Let's go with a priest. Yeah, it's much better. Or a chanter, maybe. Or a cipher. Or a ranger. Or a druid. Shapeshift is fun. Or a monk. Or a rogue. Rogue! We need a rogue. We need a mechanics. Blinding strike. Dexterity. And then just sort of slap about some stuff. There we go. You are from... I come from the land down under where men blow and women chunder. The light that wins. You'll be a hunter. Oh, that looks fine. If we maybe just do that. That face. There we go. Next.
Well,
that works. What is the mercenary's name? What have I got here? Anthony Beevor, Stalingrad, winner of the Samuel Johnson Prize and the Wolfson History Prize. Panzer, gruesome, vicious, Vicosa. Haha, there we go. Vicosa Wolfson. Wolfson, no. Wolf's daughter. Vicosa Wolf's daughter. Good. So now we have a paladin, we have a wizard, and we have a rogue.
yes.
So what's that? Actually, what does she come with? Oh yes, the pike that was in the whole thing. Yeah, that's fine. That works. Yeah, I suppose we'll check it out in the kitchen. No. It is silly for us to look in the kitchen.
What is it?
But you...
Won't see me coming.
It makes much more sense to go into the kitchen. Okay, wait for that red little thingy to go down, and then I should be properly stealthed and unseen. Okay, maybe the yellow too. I have vague memories of how stealth works, but I've pretty much forgotten all of it. 2 beers, 2 ales, nice. Alright, let's get out of here with our purloined drinks. And stealth. Alright, and so let's see. I'm having a drink. What? How do I have drink? Wait. Haha! Move 1 beer to you. And where'd the beer go? You stole like 2 alcohol. Ah, there it is. You'll have the 2 ales. Superior to us. Right. Drink.
Hi?
Hey!
What
Hey! Hey! Where'd you get those? Hey! Alright. Everyone's had their alcohols. Let's keep going. The food here has been awful lately. Think rats have gone into the larder? Think these rains would be a good boon for the crops. Wish you had some minstrels in here. I just carried the dishes. You'll want to talk to Pascal at the counter here. Everyone seen Pearly around? Who are you then? Another fool come to answer Redrick's invitation? Oh, great lord, had my sister run out of town after the boy was born. She was the only family I'd left. Not sure where she is now. Blazes, I need another drink. Oof, poor bastard. Hopefully we can find his sister. Villagers... This place is going under after the owner left, but it's held out. Someone's off to book here. The Fangs. As I have stated, not much is known about the Fangs by the world at large because they don't welcome outsiders into their numbers. While many believe they are xenophobic and openly hostile to all who enter Glenfath, the truth doesn't seem to be as broad or deadly. It's certainly not that simple. There are many places in Glenfath that could be called magical or sacred to the Glenfathans. One legend states that the Engwithans, who had suddenly abandoned their kingdom and left for places unknown, took the time to guide the ancient Glenfathan tribes into the now vacant land. The Glenfathans were gifted with a fertile area as their new homeland, but in return for being given such a gift, an oath was required. The Glenfathans were instructed to protect the Engwithan ruins until such time as they could return and claim the ruins. Alright, so the Engwithans are the ones that either have curated or made or, I don't know, found these great mystical stones. And so the Glenfathans feel that they've been blessed with everything. They're the locals, they'll protect it all, they don't want people treading on the ruins, they get pissy. Okay. They were required to swear that no living person, including the Glenfathans themselves, would be permitted entrance into the ruins. Differing accounts suggest that the Glenfathans were promised more than a homeland, that the Engwithans were the favoured people of the gods, and that keeping their oaths would confer similar benefits to the Glenfathans in the end. Oddly, the rules do not seem to apply as strictly within the borders of Twin Elms, a site built upon a large concentration of Engwithan structures. But it would seem that this is unlikely a selective oversight on the part of the Glenfathans, and more probably part of the terms of the original compact. In any case, the Glenfathans came to take their role as guardians seriously, revering the sites and developing rituals designed to protect and guard the ruins. Like those fiery runes that were on the floor that were trying to burn us alive. Over time, these rituals became rote formality to some, as much legend and superstition as any other stories passed down. This is not to say the Glenfathans ceased all attempts to uphold their oath. See the section about the 10 Years Treaties in my book about Admeth Hadret. But the intense devotion to the oath tended to vary from tribe to tribe and clan to clan. Not so with the Fangs, however. The Fangs are a group joined not by ties of kinship or even community, but of belief. Of all the groups of Glenfath, it is the Fangs who seem most intent on keeping the promises their ancestors made to the Engwithans. Just because their fanaticism and zeal are not as widely sweeping as many think does not make them any less dangerous. The Fangs are now known to reason with those they view as transgressors. If they feel you have in any way violated the sanctity of a sacred space, their judgment is swift and exact. Reports of the Fangs' attacks can be found in records dating back to the first colonial explorations of Glenfath, and even the smallest of a perceived slight could be worthy of execution. So it was unlikely we were going to be able to ever talk down those guys. At the beginning, it was do or die, so to speak. The Order itself seems to consist mainly of hunters. Whether they are recruited as skilled hunters or trained once they gain access to the Order, it's unknown. From all accounts, once they join the Fangs, hunting game falls second behind patrolling Glenfath and protecting the ruins. So it is the author's opinion that it is the former. They are recruited as skilled hunters. Boop. Cool. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. Voices from his past seem to call out to you. So, these people are actually spirits. It's jumping ahead a bit in the story of why these are spirits and why I can talk to these spirits, but we'll get there. Each of them, I believe, is a Backer-made tale. Or possibly a tale made around a Backer's idea that someone came up to them with. There are so many of them dotted around. So many! Because, well, Pillars of Eternity made a lot of money because of the backers, first and foremost. So everyone and their brother has a backing story. So they're everywhere. Now that's fine. That's good. It's good that it made so much. It did so well on, what's it called? The backing platform, I forget. Kickstarter. But they're also quite long, like that's 1, 2, 3 paragraphs. 3 paragraphs each. And 1, 2 paragraphs. There's a lot of them. So the question is, do I read them or not? And I normally wouldn't, but because this is going up on the YouTubes, I think I will. Just in case I, come across someone who actually did put their Kickstarter in the game and always wanted to have someone read it out, and then someone does! Hallelujah! Or maybe I'm just wasting time. You decide. Well, no, actually, no. You don't decide. I decide. I decide! Yeah. I'll change my mind later, no doubt. But for now, Selena Vertivo. You see a woman emptying her satchel onto her bed, taking stock of her inventory. Potions, bandages, tinctures, and herbs are scattered throughout her room haphazardly. She bites her lip, head tilted to the side, considering. She begins to repack, one item after the other, careful deliberation undercut by shaking hands. Each item has a clearly marked place, but no matter how she repacks it, she isn't satisfied. The shaking worsens as she empties it out once more, one hand held to her mouth. Tears eke from her eyes as she gives up all semblance of order and shoves everything she can in the satchel, grabbing it and running out of the bear house. Straightening her back, she walks to the docks, chin high, eyes hard and red. A gangly young elf offers his condolences, but she can't see him for the ocean ahead of her. She wanders the docks, offering her services as a doctor to any who will listen, anyone heading out on high tide. Less than an hour later, she watches her childhood disappearing in the distance, a tiny speck of an island, and tries not to jump. That's all we'll ever get of that story. Ah, it's frustrating! I want to know more!